Good morning. It's Wednesday the 17th of January 2007, and here we are in the centre of Melbourne. We've just flown in about an hour ago on Emirates Airlines from Dubai, and it's only about 8 o'clock in the morning, so our room isn't ready yet, so we're just having a little stroll around, as they say. Just to our left here we have the old original Government of Victoria state buildings. Melbourne is obviously a very modern and cosmopolitan city, and hopefully we'll try and see a few things today. This is Fitzroy Gardens, and we're just wandering through to have a look at the original home of Captain Cook. As you can see, the flowers are somewhat wilted, etc. And as you're probably aware, there's quite a severe drought going on here. The drought here in Melbourne, as of today, is on what they call Category 3, which means they're only able to water their gardens on 2 evenings a week between the hours of 8 and 10. But here we have the original home of Captain Cook. I don't know whether we can go inside, but let's just go and have a quick look over there. Well, just as a little aside, we've walked through the park to Yarra Park, and here we have the Melbourne cricket ground where England were thrashed a few days ago. I don't think we can get in, but it's just interesting to see it. Looks a tremendous stadium, holds 90,000 people. Very modern and very functional, obviously. Just to give you an idea of the size of these lights, floodlights, look at this. Apparently they took 4 years to construct. I don't know what height they are, but I'm guessing they must be 150, 200 feet high.
You can actually see it.
We've just had a little look around the house. It's basically one room up and one room down, and then there's a herb garden, etc., and obviously a statue to Captain Cook. Well, we've been invited out to lunch in the committee room in the Melbourne cricket ground. So we're right inside, rather unexpected. Only learned about this about an hour and a half ago. But as you can see, a fabulous stadium.
Oh yes. Yes. Yes.
We can probably go.
No, 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 no.
Not a lecture.
No, no, this is just, well,
We've just had lunch in the committee room, overlooking the pitch, and toward the long room. And this is quite a famous tapestry that's been made just recently, because the ground is also shared with, I believe, sort of Australian rules football as well. And this is a full-size, life-size statue to Don Bradman, who appears to be quite a small guy actually. Anyway, very interesting. Good morning. We are on a coach trip out of Melbourne, and it's along the what's commonly known as the Great Ocean Road. We've only just really started. This is one of the views we've just come across, and you can see there's people down here being trained in life-saving techniques. And the sea is fairly quiet today, but at the peak these surfing beaches can have waves up to about 30 foot high. Anyway, we're just moving on to have a look at some more sights, and we're heading towards the 12 Apostles. We've just moved off down the coast, and just stopped at a point where we sort of can see one or two koala bears in the wild. You can see him there, quite docile, just feeding quietly. Wendy's been extremely clever and found another one further up here. Fascinating. Here's another one who's a little bit more active at the moment. This one's obviously sound asleep, but there's another one just in the tree behind me.
that noise. I've never heard of it. Well, I can see now. It's so beautiful. What is the sound of the koala?
This one's obviously enjoying the local leaves of this tree. Well, we've travelled on and we're now at the 12 Apostles, which is the national park. And this is what we've travelled all this distance for. These are sort of sandstone outcrops where the sea has undermined the main part of the land, and eventually they become surrounded by water, and just became these little sentinels standing in the sea. You can see the cracks in the sandstone occurring here, and eventually this one, in I don't know, hundreds if not thousands of years, will eventually disappear into the sea. And again, over here you can see the sea is gradually undermining the sandstone, and eventually will cause the bridge to collapse. I don't know whether we've got time to walk out here, but
It's like the lighting or something. Can't really put a finger on.
some people on the beach here in the distance. Let's see what we can see. We just moved on another couple of miles, and this is known as Loch Orr Gorge, where in about 1837 a ship was wrecked just off of here, and only 2 people were found alive. You can see the archway here. We should be moving on again in a few minutes to the next site, which is called London Bridge, and the section of land across the top of the arch in this particular instance has collapsed, which is obviously quite dramatic at that point in time. Let's just move up to this point here and have another little look. Well, we've just moved on to what is proverbially known as London Bridge, which I referred to earlier. This was in fact the double archway, and the arch in the centre here duly collapsed after time and erosion from the sea in 1990, trapping a few people out here on the very edge. So they became stranded and obviously were duly rescued by helicopter. It's again a beautiful spot. We're very fortunate today. The temperature is just right for touring and walking. I suppose it's in the mid to high 70s, about 20 degrees, 22, 23 degrees, with a nice cool wind. It's beautiful sandy beaches in pristine condition, and not a person to be found. Beautiful. We're now just about way back to Melbourne. Welcome to Auckland. Yes, we're in Auckland. It's Saturday afternoon. We arrived yesterday, flying over from Melbourne, where we left in torrential rain. But here we are, down in the harbour side. So I'll just pan around 360 degrees. Just give you a little flavour. Obviously, downtown is typical of most major cities, some high-rise buildings, etc. But here we started to find the old warehouses, etc. And of course, a lot of new money is here with some fantastic yachts. Some old ones as well. But, quite impressed with what we've seen so far. Just look at the size of this this racing boat, and this was constructed for the New Zealand entrant for the America's Cup. Look at the height of this, and the size of it is just unbelievable when you see the size of people up alongside it. Amazing. We've just walked down a little bit further, and we're going to go on a harbour cruise in a few minutes' time. But just to gain just a little bit more flavour of the downtown scene. And here you can take the various ferries across the bay to the various towns just adjacent to Auckland Harbour.
Next wall for come to the end of the picket fence and up to this walk here. This is called Oraki Walk. I find it on the roadside of this walk underneath the road surface, and the former sewage storage tank of Auckland. These ones disused for the last 40 years. Kelly Tarleton turned them into an underground aquarium, installing a plexiglass tunnel. Yeah, through that glass tunnel these days. Brown's Island gifted that to the people of Auckland. But no one lives here today. There's no electricity on the island, and no walkage for the large vessels. Next little island along is called Motahi. Now Motahi's been turned into a wildlife bird sanctuary these days, with volunteers replanting of native trees, also a eradication program of all bird predators off the island. Now this is quite a good picture on our right. We've got NZ 40 and NZ 41. Both these got one with the black spinnaker and the other with the red spinnaker. They're both former American yachting operators. Part of a charter business whereby you can actually pay for a ticket, stuff like you can voice sales, paint the grinders, or even steer it if you like. Or if you prefer, you can actually sit back and watch it being sailed. the North Shore. It's known as Ringi Toto Channel. Now, apart from being the deep sea shipping channel, they're building several more vessels for this Navy. With a couple of them actually due to turn up at the end of the year, or in the next month. Now, maybe going to get someone else jump and see if we've made it in time. If we do, make sure you get them to put enough carriageway.
Well, as you can see, people are bungee jumping off the bridge. Hey! Well, they're better him than me, I can say. A sign that doesn't come across very often. Okay, this is obviously Auckland Harbour Bridge. Not quite as large or dramatic as Sydney Harbour Bridge, but even so, it's quite good. And similar to Sydney Harbour, we've got people up on the top there behind the flag. Sorry about this, there's boats turning.
The Tony Gay Sugar Refinery in New Zealand, it's actually built in by an Australian company in the Navy. The main reason they built it here was for the access to freshwater lake. Still it's deep sea access to get well into the harbour. Once every couple of months, the larger containers are dumped up onto the integrated water. They'll bring 30,000 tonnes of the raw sugar product. Most of it actually coming in from Australia. There's with quite a few things that come in from Australia but are refined and treated. Then most of the products sent back there was something that's actually being kept in the local market. On the right hand side there, you've got a little yellow one in the middle, Victoria Cruising Club, which is the oldest yacht club in New Zealand. The white one on the end closest to us is the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron. They put together most of the framework for Team New Zealand's Challenge to the America's Cup, which is starting the Louis Vuitton Cup section of this cup in April. Now the yacht we got there on our left called Kokomo has just been built by Alloy Yachts. It's very much looking at for 10 passengers, as well as quarters on there for 10 crew as well. Even the cruise suites have all suites on them. Apparently the gold trophy you see on the side of the hull and up on the boom there, that you found during the last America's Cup campaign. Money Pavilion actually hosting quite a few war parties. These days it's used for wedding ceremonies, engagement parties and those sorts of functions. Zulu we got here on our left, this one was built in New Plymouth by Fitzroy Yachts. We've also got the black Team New Zealand base here. We've got both yachts up on the mouths of the chute there. Now you can see they're very secretive about how the keel and rudder is exposed. They don't want any secrets given away. And the same will be with Oracle BMW. They'll cover their yacht up with if you want to come down and have a go on those.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We've moved to the top of the Sky Tower and just look at the view.
Oh, no stop that time. Oh, that is quick.
I bet you I could do it quicker without those.
I don't know where they dive from, but it's 220 metres from this level, which is what, approximately 700 feet. But of course this is now just looking generally inland. Very spread out city is Auckland. here we have the war memorial built to the memory of the First and Second World War veterans and people that were killed in action. Just down here is a very attractive white marble faced church. We're now about to descend, but one last look around because it's a beautiful view. And we're about to leave tomorrow morning to go north over this bridge towards. Here in the base of the tower we have a Maori canoe, which, as you can see, must be 20 to 30 meters high. Good morning. We've travelled north out of Auckland. We've travelled about 2 hours, and we've come to what is called the Koori Museum. Koori, in fact, is the name of a wood, timber, and this piece of wood in front of us is just a plank taken from the trunk of the tree, which, as you can see, is 6 foot across. Brilliant wood for construction and manufacture of furniture, etc. The table in front of us is obviously a single piece of wood, beautifully carved and produced for a boardroom, and just absolutely exceptional. And further samples of the use of this wood can be seen in front of us. Obviously the table itself and a variety of dishes. We've moved in from the showroom area into the exhibition of the saw cutting machinery. Very fascinating. All appears to be in sort of working order. A very, very good exhibition here. We've driven on about another 30-40 miles to the Kura forest, where all these trees can now be seen growing in the wild, and very tortuous, twisty road into the hills. But we're just about to walk through to see currently the largest living tree. So we just have a little wander through. Well, this is the actual tree that we've come to see, which difficult to say, but I'm estimating it's something like 16, 17 feet in diameter, and I don't know, 150 foot high maybe at the most. Massive. Let's just go and have a little bit of a closer look.
Harry.
Je zit precies op, je zit precies de geschiedenis op. Dat is mooi.
Ze denken dat het ruim 2000 jaar oud is.
Ruim 2000 jaar. Maar hoeveel zal de omtrek nou zijn? Dat is voor jullie dan. Dat is voor jullie.
At least the weather's improved. It was quite dull and overcast when we left, but now, as you can see in the distance, nice blue skies with occasional white clouds. We've travelled a little bit further along, and we've stopped because of the stunning view that these properties have. Just look at this. Absolutely beautiful. Everybody's stopping to take photographs. Wonderful view. Good morning. We are now in the Bay of Islands in the small town of Bahia, and we've come this morning to the Waitangi Treaty Centre, where the very first treaty was signed between the local Maoris and the British settlers. We've just seen a audio presentation of the various events leading up to the Treaty of Waitangi, which was signed in February the 6th, 1840, and we moved on to the war canoe, which as you can see is, well, I am guessing it's a good 130 feet long. Fantastic.
Just along there, you can see there's a big joint there.
All the carving along the side of the boat. And of course this was made from one single tree, which obviously again was quite a size. And this is obviously the view from the opposite end. The intricate carvings here, beautiful. And then if I just pan round, This is the view on the Bay of Islands. That's the small town of Bahia in the background, where we're just staying a couple of nights. Just an exceptionally beautiful spot. Even the canoe house itself is quite spectacular. And here we have the actual treaty house, which carried the due ceremony, etc. And again, I've just got to pan round purely because of the view, which you will obviously see for yourselves. Just beautiful. Beautifully maintained grounds. And back to the flagpole.
Have you got your backlight on, wasn't it?
And this house here was actually built in 1940 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi.
Missionary, and Māori instantly likened to this culture and considered them to be a noble and an honourable people, because finally he was the culture that believed in the spiritual aspect. No one else presented that, and that was the saving grace of the British and their arrival here. All right, and the relationship between Māori and those settlers was actually quite a good relationship right up until 1845, 5 years after the Treaty of Waitangi had been signed. And that's why I thought it there, originally on cheap. Chop down the fighting walk as you wander around and enjoy what belongs to you. In 1932, the entire state was purchased by the then Governor General, Lord Leversley, because overseas interests were trying to buy this 506 hectares. So in 1932, he purchased the entire estate from his own resources, and in the same year, by virtue of the gift of Deed Act, which was an act passed in Parliament in 1932, he then gifted the Waitangi National Trust back to the nation of New Zealand and all New Zealanders. And for that reason, every single New Zealander owns a portion of land here in the Bay of Islands, the Bay of Islands. It's simply
This is the rear of the White House we saw, which is the home of Lord Busby, who was literally the British equivalent of the British governor at that point in time, and quite fascinating, but certainly being looked after extremely well by the equivalent of the New Zealand National Trust. Very nice. And a very healthy looking vegetable garden. Well, we've moved away from Waitangi Treaty Park down into Bahia to the waterfront, where in a few minutes time we're just going to take a little cruise around the bay and see a number of islands, etc. Again, just a flavour of the waterfront, not particularly commercialised as such. Yes, lots of little ice cream places and similar, but nothing pretentious.
Sort of a life back then. As you would imagine, this place soon became known as the Hellhole of the South Pacific. The missionaries arrived off on Hunter and of course met the cozy town we see here today. As we see Russell, it consists of holiday homes, holiday parks, backpackers, campgrounds, and nice or sweet. We will be here very briefly, just long enough for them to board the vessel and head over to the bay. On our return from the camp this afternoon, we will once again pull back into Russell at about 4 o'clock, just after 4, and if you wish to go ashore in the mine, we'll be blind for the way The island is also known as Robinson Island. Robinson family is Scottish family. Decided to establish themselves here in 1839. They did of course with the intentions of wanting to provide provisions to sailing vessels and other transfers as part of the war. Started in 1979. Named it after one of his good friends, the British friends. So he named the island as the island, and you can find us in the distance with the lighthouse sits, named it Cape Brent. Treated to the Tunisia on this fluttering and on this ship 3 times a day. Now the little white bird you want to see, actually it's not white, it's brown, white dots on top of it. Okay folks, here we are, right in the middle of the hole in the rock itself. They're sideways. Doesn't mean we haven't tried on the odd occasion. Got about 20 metres of airspace above us and 10 metres of water beneath. It was said in earlier times when the Māori warriors used to go down south to make war with their cousins. For this afternoon, we're going to head straight up ahead of us. We're going to head down south. Everybody's been going up north, east, west. No one has gone down south to see the dolphins down here.
windy. Well, we've just left the cruise at Russell on the opposite side from Pahia, and we'll catch the ferry back in about an hour or so's time, but just come to have a little look. It's literally like going from Leamington to Yarmouth. Very nice, very sort of colonial, very British, very attractive. We've just travelled back from Pahia in the Bay of Islands, about a 200-mile drive south, where we've met up with Clyde and Margaret, who are friends of Gerald and Liz. And on the way to the hotel in Auckland, we have called in at the Auckland War Memorial and Museum. And I must say, it's a very impressive facility. You might hear a helicopter coming into land just behind the trees in front of us. And back to just another general overview of Auckland as seen from here. Anyway, we're off to the hotel now, and we should be travelling down to Rotorua tomorrow.